Okay, let's get back at it.
Let's come straight back. Sorry about that, chat. There seemed to be some form of technical problem, but as we said yesterday, it's not really a live stream unless we have those technical problems.
Absolutely.
And we have jumped right back into table 3 here. What we will see is that our timers are a little bit different from what we have for the players on the tabletop. First off, they don't have 2-hour timers. That's not true.
That's probably because we had to reset.
We did indeed have to reset, so it has reset all of those, but that's absolutely not a problem. The players have their timers available, and I will.
I can do a pass here
shortly.
shortly.
We'll go have a chat round, and yeah, one of us will just go and have a pass and have a look round.
Yeah, especially as it starts to get later in the round when it becomes more relevant.
Yes. Now, the players do only have that timer seems to try and pretend to be working, but clearly isn't. We do only have an hour for each player here. They are playing on the what did we call it? The
Death clock.
Death clock. Why is it called death clock? That's
Because
amazing.
once it runs out, you're dead.
That's exactly right.
I absolutely love that. That is something that I appreciate. It sounds epic, and it is one of the ways that you can indeed. When we saw it yesterday, actually, we saw it yesterday in the Ashes match. Our table 3, one
With
of the
Alex,
players, he only just clocked out. Literally had 4 seconds on the clock and was hanging on to that for dear life as long as he could, and he managed to make his opponent, I think it was Ryan, come right down from 12 minutes all the way down to only 2 left, I believe it was.
Right, the death clock is definitely part of the strategy. If you, if you start running out of time, your opponent can pressure you into burning up those precious seconds, and it becomes a factor, especially in a game with players at this level where they're thinking ahead, they're thinking what to do next, and trying to counter their opponent, and that the time can go fast. So they have to keep an eye on it.
Typically, is a death clock the sort of standard format that we see for a lot of games, whether it's pickup games or tournaments, or is it more just tournament games?
Mostly tournaments and people practicing for them.
Right.
Right. So like much more the competitive end, right? If you're playing casually, you're probably not as concerned about being on a timer, again, unless those are practice games for competition, right?
Of course, yeah. Okay, so practicing is something that I think we all do for a lot of things. I mean, I do in life generally. And do these players, do you think each team practices the same as another, or do you think we'll see that the team that does come out victorious at the end of the weekend is going to be the one that has put all of the reps in, or does it all just come down to the dice on the day?
It's going to be a combination, right? You're going to have each team is going to probably practice rather differently. I'm sure there's going to be some overlap in strategies and methodologies, but again, at the end of the day, it's going to come down to looking for those possibilities for a advantageous pairing, right? Because as we mentioned earlier, people plan out their opponents and who they're going to be facing off against. And what you're looking to do there is give yourself the best advantage for when it does come down to dice, right? You want to be in a position where the dice can be as in your favor as possible.
And as far as practicing goes, some of the teams were even as late as last night. They were out practicing and playing games against each other and talking strategy, and so they were at it last night, even late.
Yeah. I'm trying to ask for as many different people out there. I just wanted to make sure that I wasn't just asking silly questions for the sake of the silly questions.
Right, because I guarantee there's going to be people watching that'll be like, oh, that makes sense now. And maybe they didn't know. And, and not only that, but, you have a really good way of making Doug and I look smart, which is really difficult.
Well, part of that involves falling on my own sword, I guess, and making myself look stupid.
No, you're asking questions for the viewers, right? So that they can actually follow along as well.
Well, and the best thing is when John and I mess up, someone else is going to let us know that you guys messed it up.
Oh yeah,
they can make fun of us.
I guarantee throughout this weekend, at some point, someone in chat will be like, "Doug and John are just wrong."
Right? Why did you send those guys?
Yeah.
That's I mean, to be fair, that's my job. The whole reason I'm here is to be able to host you guys here on the channel and make sure that you seem as intelligent as possible, and make Privateer Press want to send you back over.
Right. Well, and it's as someone has already said in chat, basically we're wrong, because as they say, if it comes down to dice, someone did something wrong, and that's not always true, right?
Yeah.
I can definitely understand that sentiment, but like I said, it's all about getting yourself in a position where if it is coming down to something with dice, you're in the best position possible.
Yeah. I just try and actively don't roll dice. That's like my whole MO. It's
Yeah.
just don't roll it.
Yeah, like you said, it's either roll no dice or roll all the dice.
It's one of those two things. Now, I assume I'll just give OBS a second to actually stop being silly and wake up. I'm assuming we're still live. That's the thing.
Did we freeze up?
I mean, the stream's still going, right?
Yeah.
So
At
I'm
least as far as
assuming
I can
not.
see. Yeah,
I'm
I think
assuming
your
we're still
OBS,
live.
Your OBS panel, if you will, is
Yeah,
just
that's
being
fine.
a
Well-
bit of a jerk.
We'll just wait. I don't even know why that would be open. So let's kill this. So we are live. I assume the chat can still hear us. There's a question that has come in from Pulp Dog saying, why you guys though? How did you get selected? Was it just names out of the hat, or was it just I screamed the loudest, let me in?
No, it's. I mean, quite simply, it comes down to some familiarity, right?
Yeah.
Sure,
So like
sure.
Doug travels a lot and gets to interact with a lot of the different teams that are in the competitive scene and do participate in larger tournaments like this. And whereas my typical job is to put together those events for our company, so there's a really good overlap in just understanding some of the work that goes into these things, being able to speak to the efforts people are putting in, as well as everyone at the company loves the games. So, I mean, that's why we're there.
Yeah, and
So
John,
it's just a blend.
I mean, there might be some people on the stream that aren't familiar with who we are. Myself, I'm Doug. I'm our lead sculptor at Privateer Press. So maybe I got sent because I get to help make pretty models, and but yeah, I do know a lot of the players and have participated in some of the bigger events, and been to Europe a couple times for various events, Greek Masters and EU Masters some years back. So it was great to get asked to come back over here and do WTC. So
Yeah, no, I mean, it is definitely a significant privilege, right? It's
Absolutely.
Not, it's not in any way, shape, or form like twist my arm, right? Like, wait, I get to go to Belgium and hang out with some of my favorite people all weekend.
Right.
Oh, okay, wah.
Oh, what a shame.
So I mean, yeah, I mean, it's not necessarily something that's fought over to be done, but almost no one's going to turn it down, right?
Well, that's over the summer when John asked me. He's like, we're talking about going to WTC. Do you want to go? I'm like, yes, of course I want to go. Well, I'm ready now.
Hey, I'm going to take 7 days off to go bum around Europe and visit
Right.
more people who want to do that. Yeah.
Yeah, that was about how the conversation went.
That's pretty much what's happening with us. We took a week and a half or 2 weeks off work just to be able to come over and then spend some extra time with the people that are here and do all that sort of stuff as well, which is
Yeah, I
quite
mean,
nice.
if you're going to come all the way out.
Yeah, I think I mean one of the things with WTC, not only is it one of the premier competitive events, but it is the premier social event for Warmachine.
Absolutely. It is right up there with, like your Warfare weekend, or, like when we get back to being able to do it lock and load back in the States. And to be able to have some participation in that event in Europe specifically is it's amazing, right? It really is a privilege on multiple levels.
And even last night at dinner, because we have dinners here as a group at the facility, but seeing everybody sitting around and hanging around and interacting with each other and having a great time, I mean, it is truly just a massive social event for these players.
Yeah, and you're sharing meals, drinks, and laughs, like with people from Belgium, Denmark, France, Australia, like all over the world. Finland. And they try to poison you in the most delightful ways.
Ah, so good.
Black licorice liqueur.
Right.
Yeah.
It's been very educational already.
Yes. But I have yet to find a way to beat that feeling.
Right, I agree.
Of that level of camaraderie and community that you get at this event.
Of
Right.
course. I'm just really quickly going to restart this because I can't actually change any tables over whilst it's in this state. And I'd like to be able to talk to table 3 and
Yeah,
table
let's switch
4
over,
as well.
Do what you need to do to reboot us here.
Yeah, give us
So
a second.
if we